Welcome everyone to another edition of Hardcore Wrestling Rants. I am your hardcore host Rick Head, and I am joined by the hardcore crew. First, from the Skeleton Realms, he's the Lord Skeleton himself, Joseph Knight. Joe, what's going on?
Not much. Just trying to survive this damn cold. It's as cold as Sunny is in her cell.
And from Lance Moss TV, yeah, he's the incomparable Lance Moss. Lance, what's shaking?
Okay, who the hell left the freezer open?
I know, Lance, you were talking earlier. It's like 4 degrees down south. I'm like, when does that happen?
Yeah, exactly.
The fuck?
Hey, guys, before we start the show, I shared something with you guys on the group chat where, it's in our group chat. Take a look on Facebook. It is a sick, stupid bump.
Oh, my God!
Damn.
Indie schmucks.
Oh!
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you this.
Post that in the chat room.
Yeah, we will post this in the chat room. You guys have to check it out. Go HWR chat room in the group section.
No, it's wrestling rants, Joe.
Yeah, wrestling rants, wrestling botches, whatever the fuck. But this is an exact thing. This is exactly what I talk about when it comes to stupid people doing stupid moves just to get a fucking pop that they think they're fucking professional wrestlers when they're nothing but underwear wearing schmucks who just want to look cool.
Well, since Joe brought that up, we're going to skip to one of our topics.
Uh-oh.
Actually, we're going to talk about that because we have a few other ones. But I want to talk about Jack Perry, who made a shocking appearance at a recent New Japan event. It was at Battle in the Valley. He wound up attacking Shota Umino and then held up an armband called Scapegoat. He would then pull out his AEW contract and rip it up. Now, I don't think, obviously, this is some sort of storyline. We talked about this earlier, guys. So, right now, I think until AEW decides to bring Perry back, I think this is the right idea, Joe.
Absolutely. I'm looking at partial the picture. Jack Perry looks like he gained a little weight. He's got the full beard. Obviously this is a storyline because you just can't do that unless he already is out of his contract. Nobody knows yet, and he's just ripping it up just for the sake of it. As for the Scapegoat thing, I think I can make a connection to that. It's basically, remember the thing with him and CM Punk? They probably try to tag it on him, so that's where the Scapegoat thing probably came in.
Yeah. Lance, your thoughts?
Well, ain't no way in hell he legit left AEW because, well, let's just face it, contracts don't work like that, and it would have hit the internet really damn fast. Because everybody out there, you can't just get out of a contract by tearing up the paper. It don't work like that.
Yeah, and, we have seen wrestlers in the past tear up their contract. Well, obviously, it was clearly a storyline. But I think in this case, I think it's a great idea that Jack Perry is working over New Japan Pro Wrestling. AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling have, worked well in the past for a long time. So I'm sure that Tony Khan kind of gave the nod and said, you know what, this probably would be the best idea until we figure out what we can do with you here over in AEW. Personally, I don't think he ever should have gotten suspended. I think he got the shit end of the deal. Meanwhile, Punk is over in WWE on TV every other week. But that's politics for you. Shelton Benjamin has yet to, there was rumors that he was heading to AEW, but apparently AEW has no interest in him right now. Shelton Benjamin is a great worker, and he always seems to get the shit end of the deal. He's been released twice from the WWE, even when he was on the rise. And AEW, for some reason, is just no interest in it. So, Joe, what do you see happening with Shelton Benjamin?
Well, there's other opportunities. He can go to now TNA, where he can get proper food stamps. Or he could go to NWA Power, and he'll have to pay them to wrestle. Um, right now, the way I see it is Sheldon Benjamin is still in his prime. He's still good. He can still go at it, obviously. He's got a great physique, great look. He doesn't take too many stupid moves. Uh, Not like indie workers that we've seen. But I think the opportunity for him to go now to TNA wrestling would probably do him good with his skill set, and plus he can probably help out in the back. And let's just admit it, folks. TNA needs everything that they need as much talent as they can get that is credible, and Sheldon Benjamin is credible.
Yeah, absolutely. Lance, your thoughts?
Honestly, he's had a good run career, but it might be time for Sheldon to hang him up and just start training people.
Okay, so career change and possibly as a trainer. So, do you think that WWE would take him back as a trainer?
Well, as many people are blowing their ACLs out in the company today, it might be a good damn idea.
Yeah, there's like several wrestlers have been blowing their ACLs and knee injuries over the past couple of weeks. We're gonna get to that shortly. Jordan Grace defeated Trinity Fatu last night on Saturday's Hard to Kill pay-per-view, and she is now the new TNA Knockouts champion. For several weeks, there have been rumors that Trinity was leaving TNA and possibly going back to WWE. Lance, could this be a sign of those rumors coming true?
I personally think we're seeing Naomi back in the WWE as soon as next Saturday at the Royal Rumble as a surprise entrant.
Oh, that's an interesting thought. Joe, your thoughts on Trinity possibly heading back to WWE? And I have to wonder if they're going to leave her as Naomi, or will she be able to keep Trinity?
No, you know what? I think they're gonna put her as Naomi. It makes more sense because fans know her more as that. Who really watches TNA? It's for them to know that. Anytime somebody comes in and just takes a championship from a name talent, they're departing. I agree with Lance. We'll see her soon in a WWE ring. But kudos to Jordan Grace. She cries and whines that she wants a championship. Now that she got it, let's see what the hell she can actually do with it.
Jordan Grace.
No, she's a good worker, but she always complains about not getting a fair share. Now she's got her fair share. Let's see. They put the belt on her. Let's see how she can carry. Over in the chat room on YouTube, Rick, we got Reverend Jake Slayer. He says, would she be part of the bloodline, referring to Naomi Trinity? I would say yes. Don't you think?
I'd say possibly. If it all depends, because it seems like the bloodline is starting to wind down a little bit. So if they bring her back in there to reinvigorate it, possibly. It's a strong question. It's one of those things that's up to the WWE creative, and you never know what those guys are fucking thinking. So, all right, let's move along. Wrong. As most of you already know, Austin Theory and Carmelo Hayes botched a version of a Spanish Fly on SmackDown this past Friday, which led to a referee having to stop the match. Despite a few lacerations, both wrestlers were fine. However, a couple days later, they reported that Theory is now put on WWE medical protocol, which suggests that Theory may have gotten the worst end of the spot, which, of course, that was his move. It's not clear how much ring time he's going to miss. Joe, I talked to you about the Spanish Fly, or at least Austin Theory's fucked up attempt of a Spanish Fly. And I watched the video, and before he even tried to execute it, I'm like, this is going to end badly. And it did. I mean...
This is why wrestlers shorten their lives in professional wrestling today. They do moves that either one part of the person doesn't know what's going on or how to do it, execute it properly, or the person receiving the move doesn't know how to receive the move properly. This was wrestling wasn't a bunch of stupid high spots. If you can pull it off, Sammy Guevara does a fucking hell of a great move. But even he limits that. He doesn't do it all the time. You know, there's a time and a place for it. Today, these morons who call themselves professional wrestlers or workers, they go in the fucking ring, they do these hippity flip-flop spots, hope that it works, and when they injure themselves, then they're fucked. So, honestly, they should have broken their necks, because then that would send a message to the rest of the locker room: don't do stupid shit. When they're ending up like draws, sitting and drooling on a chair, maybe they'll fucking wake up and stop doing stupid shit. Professional wrestling used to have high spots. You did them. You didn't need to depend on them. The glory days and the Attitude Era proved that. Great talkers, good moves. That's it. They didn't need to do so many high spots. The luchadors used to do it, but notice Ray, Psychosis, Juventud, Shane Helms, who you have pictured that, I think it is, so it's his grandfather. They never had to go to overwhelming stupidity to get over. And plus, they all knew what they were doing. Over in the chat room, once again, Terry 3G says, evening to all men and women. And well, we don't have the women today. And he also says, yeah, the Sammy spot was crazy and thought he was severely injured. So, Rick, that's my opinion. Morons like this should not be, wrestling should not be this. It should be, okay, one high spot if you both train for it. And then go back to the basics. Psychology is missing in professional wrestling.
Well, I understand that, the ring psychology where they have to make it a little bit more in the ring. But unfortunately, with today's wrestling, there are more high flyers than there are technical wrestlers. Well,
here's the thing. Let me just throw this. You know the reason you see this today? Because the people they have in wrestling can't take it out, can't do it on the mic. They're not they're not larger than life characters. They're not attention grabbers. If one of these guys walked down the street, you would think he's a gym rat. So they don't stand out. They're not a Ric Flair. They're not a Sting. Hell, Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson, the Rock and Rolls. Those guys all had characters when you saw them in the ring. They were larger than life. They can do a brain buster, and that's it. Match is over, and everybody said, okay, great. That looks like a great move. What happens is these guys can't talk. They're not The Rock. They're not Austin. They're not Undertaker. They're not Shawn. They're not Bret. They all cannot get over. So what do? Well, let's get over by doing the suicide move that maybe if we both survive, we won't break our necks, just to get attention and wow the internet and wow the fans. Number one, fellas, the fans don't give two shits about you. Two, I hope you continue doing it, because the more of you are out of professional wrestling, maybe common sense will return and real wrestlers will come back, and maybe we will have something different. But for now, Rick, that's why you see morons like this, morons in AEW doing stupid moves like this, because they lack so much. In wrestling, you have to have the body, you have to have the mic skills. More of the mic skills, you have to have a presentation, a character that can grab you, make you either want to love them or hate them. And I know this is a long rant, but trust me, it's worth it. And now today, out of all the four, the body, the looks, the mic, the body, the mic skills, the in-ring presentation, your character. Out of all of that, they have none of these that get you going. Jeff Rollins comes out like he's a fucking insane person.
You know what? I like Seth Rollins, so I'm gonna stop you on that one. I gotta back him up.
But everybody else, you could see these guys. That's why they end up where they end up, and they usually end up in a hospital, or worse, paralyzed or dead, because they don't know how to get over on other things. Whoever's teaching these people today needs to be brung out in the middle of the street and shot.
Yeah, I want to welcome Mark K into the chat room, and he said, "And God bless it. If you connect it with a high spot, it should be a 1, 2, 3, just like you said, Joe." So, um, and again, like I think I do agree that certain high spots should be the finisher or the end of the match. Lance, your thoughts on Waller's horrible Spanish Fly?
Dusty Rhodes said it best. Don't do shit you don't know how to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I was watching SmackDown live last Friday. I look over, I see them go up there. I look over at something else. I come back, new match. I'm going, what the fuck happened? They replay it. Like, oh.
Yeah.
And you see, and that also stops a show. Because people get injured. Now the referee has to call it because that's the right call, because you don't know if these guys are severely injured. And the match gets thrown out, and now it's like you can probably see in the back that I'm screaming at them, why the fuck did you do this stupid shit?
Thing. What were they gonna do? But they're not what the ref didn't have any choice. It knocked both some bitches out.
Yeah, and that's the proper call. But you know what? That also pisses off the people in the back who run the show, because now TV time is now shortened. So now they got to take the next match and either make it longer or find something to fill that time.
Oh, yeah, WWE has plenty of time to fill shit. All they have to do is just put somebody on the mic for an extra 5 minutes and 10 minutes, and they're golden.
Exactly. And you lose viewership that way, because who wants to hear some idiot who can't fucking cut a promo try to cut a promo?
Yeah. I tried watching.
I'm sorry, fans. I am this crotchety old manager, commentator from back in the day, promoter, who knows what professional wrestling used to be fucking good, and now you got a bunch of morons running around in underwear trying to play wrestler.
All right, let's move along. Cora Jade made her return from a hiatus from NXT just shortly. She was making a strong comeback. However, she suffered a torn ACL and is expected to be out for 9 months or longer. Oh, God. Joe, I'm just going to ask you one thing. What happens when a wrestler who is gone for a while starts to make a comeback and then gets injured where they're gone for another, almost another year? How does that affect that wrestler as far as trying to climb up the ladder?
It doesn't. They are done. When you come back and you're completely injuring yourself, either that shows me you're not trained, or you're too reckless, nobody's telling you how to do the spots correctly, or you're not fit for professional wrestling. Let's face it, your career could be done because the company's not going to keep reinvesting money into you to try to get you along, and then you just get injured and you're out. It happens throughout history. Workers getting injured, coming back, they get injured again. It's never a good thing, especially if you're starting your career. They're, especially the women, some of them are very petite. They can injure themselves really quick. So nobody's showing these people how to do this properly. I wish they would be. I would like to know who really trains these people, because obviously they're not understanding the business, because they're not getting it. If you injure yourself once, you protect yourself. Don't rush to come back fast. But when you do come back, protect yourself not to get that same injury again. And apparently it happened again. Now the company won't see you in a favorable light, because you're now put on that risk list. You just made the list, bitch.
Terry 3G, he went out. He mentioned the Big Bill, the street fight. I believe it was between Big Bill and Ricky Starks versus Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara. Correct me if I'm wrong. That was over on Rampage this past Friday. And it was actually the street. He said that how he liked Big Bill street fighting, got in a suplex on the roof of a car, which shouldn't have been in the back, but in the match. But you know what, though? I'm going to say it looked awesome, as he said. But here's the thing, Terry. At least it was a street fight that happened inside of a street. WWE doesn't do that anymore for some reason. So, um, we're gonna move on. Speaking of injuries, we have yet another injury. Kota Ibushi confirmed that he'll be undergoing ankle surgery on Wednesday. Today. A couple of weeks back, Ibushi was in a match against Naomichi Maruf, if I'm pronouncing that right. Forgive me, guys. Ibushi went for a moonsault to the outside, and that's where the injury took place. Lance, your thoughts on that?
Well, honestly, I hate to be so crass, but this shit ain't ballet. Injuries happen, and as long as Kabushi's been in the business, he knows it's part of the game. But honestly, wish him a speedy recovery.
Yeah, absolutely. I love Kota Ibushi, forgive me. He's been in AEW several times. I have hung out with Billy over in his chat room, and he's like actually played a lot of New Japan stuff, and I'm really impressed with him. Joe, I know you're going on a rant about, again, how people are doing high-flying moves. Ibushi has actually done this move several times, so unfortunately it was just one time too many, I guess.
Yeah, again, here we go again. And in Japan, they're strong style, so they're really hitting each other. It's almost similar to Texas. But it just shows you, and it shows you the mentality, guys. Again, you sit back. Yes, high spots are cool. You can do it once. You can do it twice. You can have fun with it. But after a while, your body is not going to take it. So they need to figure, it should be special. It should be something that happens very special. You don't want to see it all the time, because then 5 out of 10, or should I say, 1 out of 5, because if you do it 5 times, you're going to do something. Your body's going to kick out. It's going to say, no, I can't do this right now. And you're going to hurt yourself, or you're going to hurt your opponent. We live in the land where people are smaller. They have to get over on whatever they can, and they picture high spots can do it. You can train, and it's a perfect example. You could do it perfectly. You could do it perfectly 4 times. 5th time, you could fuck it up. It's something that people, I'm not saying slow down and put a headlock for 15 minutes, but patience, time yourselves. Don't always do something flashy. Make it a special thing for us to see. That's what professional wrestling should be. And these guys can now live longer and their careers can keep going. Yes, he is a great worker. He has, in Japan, he has the great charisma that they like. He has the body, he has the look. He's been in AEW, he's in New Japan, he holds championships. If I can line up all the workers today, including indie workers, I would just run down the line and slap them all. Have them sit down and watch Randy Savage versus Ricky Steamboat WrestleMania 3 and show them what a true professional wrestling match is all about. So that way they can see it. High spots is great, but you don't need it all the time. Make it special. And plus, save your bodies. The more you wear your body, the more it's going to break. The more your tendons are going to break. Bones are going to break. Ligaments are going to tear. God.
Joe, shoot. For the business, Kota is not a young guy. He's getting up there in terms of wrestling age. He's 41.
Oh, exactly. That's another reason why you can't be doing the stuff that the new kids do. You do it once, you make it special, and that's it. If you're over, let's put it like this, Rick, if you're over the age of 30, you should not be doing high spots that can most likely 99.9 injure you, just to hang out and keep yourself in good light. If you can't do a certain thing, work on your promo skills, develop a character, something that gets the attention on you. That's why people look at Hulk Hogan. and say, oh, Hogan's reign, when he was just a boot to the face, finger point, leg drop, and that's it. Look how well it won him during the 80s.
Yeah, let me cut you off for 1 second because Jake Slater actually made an honest question. He asked a question. He goes, "What are the odds of Phil getting hurt again?" Well, he first has to wrestle, which we know that he's only going to do sporadically in the WWE. But I'm hoping sooner than later. You know, just for him to get it crammed up the ass yet again. But that's just my personal, favorite. Lance, so let me ask you, where do you see Phil getting hurt?
Well, he's going to be in the Rumble, so if they throw him out, there's a good shot he might get injured there, because that is one of the more dangerous, was one of the more dangerous matches in wrestling.
Yeah. Joe, your thoughts on the question of when Phil will be getting hurt?
Again, the sooner the better.
Yeah.
Maybe if they can carry him out in a full body bag, that'll be a great day.
Fuck it, I've got to say it. Probably when he pisses off April.
Yeah.
And she gets that frying pan and bang.
Yeah. Let's just say he's already. I hate to put it in terms like this. He's over the hill. And there is rumors now that Triple H is looking to come back too.
I don't think he can. He said he's permanently.
I don't see, with that heart issue, I don't see that happening.
Oh, please come back, Triple H. Get in the ring.
Oh,
Dude,
come on.
Come on.
You may not like him as a wrestler, but I gotta say, as a booker, he's been done pretty fucking good.
Like I said, get in the ring. Get in the ring in there and please wrestle your heart out. Maybe that will happen. By the way, take your wife with you. No, leave your wife. Maybe she can do porn.
Don't see that happening. She's a bit of a prude. So,
who cares? Look at the massive boobs that she has.
Terry,
speaking about boobs, Dakota Kai needs boobs.
I disagree with you on that one, Joe. I did. Damn.
She's got a nice little handful, and she's not exactly. She's not a big chick. She's like what, 5 foot nothing. So
she's 5'3".
5'3". I wouldn't want to see 5'3" woman walking down with a double D breast. She would not be able to walk. She'd fall over every time. She'd need a walker.
Oh, at least she got airbags to protect her.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. All right, let's move on.
Boss, hang on. Hang on. I've got to do it. That's Joe at SkullJoeStrim.com.
Just think of it like this. If you're on a sinking ship, at least you got something to grab onto.
All right.
Now, if you're on a sinking ship with Sunny, you want to give her the anchor. You want to give her all the luggage so it goes down.
She is the anchor.
Kudos, Lance. Kudos.
All right. Tonight's episode of AEW has just under 2,200 tickets sold, with 300 tickets more available. Now, the show setup is only a capacity of just over 2,500, but the venue seating capacity has over 13,000. Joe, what is going on?
Well, obviously they can't sell tickets. It's come to the point. We all love professional wrestling. I love my era, the Attitude Era. We love the Attitude Era and all that. Wrestling today, as much as we want it, we want to go into it and like it. There is no one credible. There's no one that can pull you in. When you saw the Attitude Era, when you knew The Rock was going to be on, or Austin, or Taker, or whomever, you got into it. When DX was going to be part of it, you got into it. When the NWO and WCW was going to be part of it, or Crow Sting, you got into it. Now today, there's no one that can really stand out, that really draws you in. We rave about Samoa Joe. He's okay, but he's up in age. You look at Little Mac from Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, Hook, who should be put on a hook and sent to the bottom of the ocean, just so I don't have to see his stupid face and hairstyle. You've got guys in WWE that don't look the part. Let's face it, is it worth going to a wrestling show when you're going to see that same show on TV? It's like now that's why Raw and SmackDown
Well,
and
this
all
is
these.
just Dynamite, not like a regular,
No, I
like a
know, but
pay-per-view or a
still,
house show.
yeah, but they still put people against stars. That's what turns people away. It's like, well, okay, seeing it I saw it on TV last week, and I saw it on TV the week before. Why is it different now? People
Well,
have a short attention span. They don't want to see the same thing constantly repeated. If it's with people that can't really draw you in,
well,
you know.
WWE has rematches all the time. They'll have a
Exactly. Look at
pay-per-view.
their ratings.
Yeah, and they're still getting 2 million viewers on Raw. As much as but
You know what, Rick? It's because they're the WWE. They've been in business since the 80s. And no matter how different the brand has become, it's still the same thing. It's still the product has come, the product reaches pinnacle, and now it's going downhill with what they have. You're never going to see another Hulk Hogan. You're never going to see another Attitude Era. You can remake the NWO, you can remake the Horsemen, but they're not going to have the substance as the previous incarnations. So that's, believe it or not, and here I am, folks. I'm talking on a wrestling podcast. I don't watch wrestling all the time. If it wasn't for me being here on Wednesday nights, I wouldn't even watch Dynamite. So, and I don't watch WWE or TNA or AEW or, excuse me, NWA Power, unless it's something that really seriously news happened, like what happened with the drug sketch over in NWA Power with James Mitchell, stuff like that. I am not a diehard fan anymore because there is nothing to really grasp. The tag teams, there's no tag teams that pull you in. FTR, yes. The Bucks are already annoying. Starks and Big Bill, that's the best we got. Over in WWE's worse. So there is no, and then you got a Hook going around like he's the big man on campus. Like, come on now. If that's professional wrestling, yes, it is dead.
I think also there are a lot of other wrestlers that's currently injured in the AEW. Yeah. You get Adam Cole and his new Undisputed Kingdom. MJF, he's out. He's gonna be out for at least another 3 to 6 months. So, all those top now wrestlers that was getting huge storylines were injured and got sidetracked. So right now you have to work with all these other guys. And honestly, I still love AEW. I very rarely do I bitch, and you'll see if I rant on the chat room about Dynamite. And I have to say I've been impressed with them, but that's just me. Lance, your thoughts?
Well, okay. I looked at the card that they're advertising for tonight, and to be honest, it's kind of a weak card. Because I'm looking here. We hear from the Young Bucks. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Deonna Purrazzo versus Anna Jay. You know what? Yeah, that might draw some eyes. The Bullet Club Gold versus Gates of Agony and Brian Cage. And that one, the Bullet Club Gold's winning. Ain't no damn way in hell Gates of Agony and Brian Cage are winning. Dustin Rhodes versus Christian Cage. As much as I love Dustin, he ain't winning that TBS title. He's even said he's on his way out. Samoa Joe versus Hook. All due respect to Hook, great guy, a lot of potential. He's not winning the title tonight.
No, I have to agree with you.
It's a weak card.
Fair enough.
But Rick, we got a lot of chats going on over in the YouTube channel. Alfred Harden says Mac from Mike Tyson's Punch Out. That's never going to leave my mind. Good one, bro. Terry 3G says Hook wishes he had the Little Mac Orange Punch or of Orange Cassidy. So he wished he had that punch like Orange Cassidy. Mark K says I want AEW to succeed, but but TK needs help with creative, and for the fuck's sake, keep TK away from the scrums. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tony Khan needs to step away from from AEW's in front of the camera. He should be the money man. That's it. Maybe watch the show. Maybe he's trying so hard to be Vince McMahon and Eric Bischoff that he's not realizing history is going to repeat itself. I said it before. The company took off. It was great. It started out good. We had a lot of good players in there. Now it's fizzling out. And like you said, Rick, a lot of people are injured. And it's not. And then it's not like they were memorable, but you had, Adam Cole, he's the toothpick of professional wrestling. The only saving grace was MJF. And he's the one, if it wasn't for Christian Cage, if it's not Adam Copeland, if it's not Chris Jericho, these guys, I'm tired of seeing Bullet Club Gold. I'm tired of seeing the Young Bucks. That's the problem. They don't have anybody else that can rise up and bring more eyes to the channel. Well, look at in WWE. They have to bring The Rock back just to get more viewers to sell out WrestleMania. That should tell you that the current roster cannot get over when they have to keep using legends to come in and just do something. I'm expecting a 70-year-old hacksaw Jim Duggan, tough guy, come in and just swing the 2x4 around just to generate some views, or DDP or somebody, because wrestling is not attractive as it is. And look who they have. Everybody in fucking AEW looks like they should be selling me fries with my burger. They're skinny. They're small.
Yeah, I know you're not a fan of Darby Allin. You know
what? I'm going to say this. I like Darby Allin. I like the determination. I don't like the crazy bumps he does. If he will put on a little bit more weight, muscle up a little bit, and cut back on too much high spots, do the coffin drop as a finisher, I can get into Darby Allin. Darby Allin's young Sting without the body. He's got great determination. Jungle Boy, Jack Perry's awesome. Sammy Guevara, all of these guys, they've got potential. But Rick, you take away the moves, what are they? What attracts you to these guys? One has half face painted. Sammy's got the hot chick wife.
Yeah, but Sammy Guevara is a lot more than that. And you know what? You could say he is a luchador, so yes, he has that background where he's going to do those flippy flops, as you call them. But you know what? That's what I love about Sammy Guevara, because he does them flawlessly.
And remember, the only time never he took say away that word flawlessly. Never say flawlessly, because all it takes is one bad move to end his career.
Absolutely. And that can happen with any wrestler. That can happen with any wrestler, with any similar thing. It's, there are guys who can do the moves, and that's your point, will get hurt that one time. But there are other wrestlers who just do stupid shit like they did on Friday Night SmackDown with that fucking, half-assed Spanish fly. I think I should call it the blind fly, because it fucking flew into a wall and just fucking crashed and burned.
Exactly. They crashed and burned like that plane that landed in Japan. So, over in the chat room, and I'm very happy. We got a lot of people chatting today. We got Mark K saying Christian Cage is doing his best work. What do you think about that, Rick, Lance? What do you guys think? I think Christian Cage is doing his best work.
Yeah.
I think he's doing great, Mike. But as a heel, I guess he's definitely getting over because he's pulling all the scumbag moves. But I think he should really be elevating other people. I mean, I would have loved to have seen Luchasaurus. I'm waiting for him, or whatever they want to call him, Kill Switch now, to fucking do something. Because right now, all he's doing is just like groaning and, roaring. Like, who gives a fuck? I'm like, are you a lion or are you a wrestler?
Was Kill Switch his original gimmick?
Luchasaurus was.
Right. Was that his original gimmick?
No. Kill Switch, that was Christian who gave him the name Kill Switch. He rebranded him. That was a whole fucking storyline, which I thought was ridiculous. You know, you have Nick Wayne. He should be pushing him to, rise up because he's a young sale wrestler, and he's spending more time sitting next to his mother, who's very fucking hot. But
Hey,
still,
hey, hey. The only good thing about Nick Wayne is his mom.
right
Nick Wayne
now,
could go
yes.
back to sell concessions. Just leave his mom in the ring.
You know, but you got Orange Cassidy, and he does a lot. He works all the time. Almost every show he's working.
And that's bad.
Yeah.
And that's another, and guys, that's another reason I gotta say this. That is another reason wrestling is boring. When you see the same people day in and day night, week after week, you get bored. All right, who is he punching today? Who's doing this move? Am I gonna see him do this? Am I gonna see her do that? They don't know how to. Okay, one show you have the talent, another show you don't. You bring in some different people.
Well,
Plus,
that's what they do on the 3 shows. He just
yeah.
happens to be the one one person who doesn't mind jumping around. There are wrestlers who only stay on Dynamite. There are other wrestlers who stay on Rampage, and there are other wrestlers who stay on Collision. They haven't really made it exclusive, but if you watch those shows each and every week, you'll see the same wrestlers in those shows.
Yeah.
And again, that's the problem. You don't want to see the same wrestlers night in, night out, even if they're on different brands. You fans are fickle. They don't want to see the same people constantly. I don't want to tune into Dynamite this week and see Orange Cassidy beating someone. I don't want to tune in next week. He's beating somebody else or getting in a fight or anything else. They gotta learn how to spread these guys. Like, give them a certain time when they could be back. Twice a month.
Twice a month.
Twice a month. Absence makes the heart founder.
No, because that would be like boring. It's like, all right, you're gonna have 2 matches. You're gonna win the 2 matches. Swerve Strickland. He is like probably my favorite heel going on right now.
Oh yes,
he does some great ring work, and he is in the ring several times a week. Not always, even if he just makes an appearance. Same thing with Kyle. What the fuck is his name? My brain just went out. Anyways.
Well, Lance, let's toss the question to Lance.
Lance, your thoughts on this whole situation.
Well, I'd personally be pissed off if, say, one of my favorites, like Thunder Rosa, was only on like every 2 damn weeks.
Yeah. Exactly. We haven't even seen Britt Baker. She's actually said she stepped away by choice because, you know what? She's like, people are saying that I'm taking up the spotlight. I'll step away from the spotlight. But when they need me, I'm going to come back and I'm going to stay back. Yeah. And I thought that was pretty cool.
You know what? Yes, that is see, she gets it. She gets it. She's letting everybody, let's see how well these people, she's giving them the book to go ahead and wrestle. Go and prove that you don't need me in that ring. And when they fall and they flounder, like they have fucking Toni Storm thinking she's fucking Marilyn Monroe, too bad she don't have the body of Marilyn Monroe or the brain. Well, she has the brain Marilyn Monroe. And, you have Soraya, you have the car wreck of Ruby Soho. You have all these other people who we see week after week, and they don't know how to sell. They don't know how to intrigue you. Wrestling is about intriguing and bringing your eyes in. None of these people are doing it, but Britt Baker is smart. She's all the injuries. She used to work hard. I applaud her for that. We've seen her matches where she's busted up, literally busted up. She's bleeding buckets for the cause. And now she's been there from the beginning, and now she's taking her stance, stepping back, saying, "Go ahead, let me see what you girls can do." And when they all fall in their face, she'll come back and resume the mantle. That's what they did with Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair, everybody was sick of her. They took her off TV for a while, let everybody else go. Okay, well, let's bring in Charlotte back. That's the problem with professional wrestling. Too much. You're seeing the person too much. All right, let's say this. Twice let's just say 3 times a month. Okay. On TV now, TV should be twice a month. So you can give the ball to other people to do.
Yeah, Terry 3G also pointed out Abaddon, who, she was making a few spots on Dynamite, and then she kind of moved over to Ring of Honor, which I think is a good idea because not a lot of people watch Ring of Honor unless if you have it, so because they want to watch that particular show. I've yet to really find a huge interest in, considering I have to run 3 other shows. If and when the AEW decides to merge that and they have like their own little their own network or streaming, then I would definitely go and watch a lot more of Ring of Honor. But that's just my thoughts. Why don't we move things along? We got. Oh shit. According to Dave Meltzer, the WWE Undisputed Champion Roman Reigns will be wrestling much less than a year. Apparently, he got a nice little deal when he re-signed a couple years back, and he basically's got the Brock Lesnar treatment where he's gonna wrestle a match and then go off for a couple of weeks or a couple of months. According to Meltzer, Reigns is expected to wrestle at the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, but after that, he'll be taking another short leave. Meltzer thinks that he'll be back for maybe back in May for the King and Queen of the Ring, which will be down in Saudi, and most likely SummerSlam. Lance, we were just talking about how we have wrestlers, kind of stretch out. What do you think about Roman Reigns as a champion who's taking these breaks?
Take the belt off this motherfucker.
All right. So now we're talking
a champion that ain't there. Take the belt off his ass. What good is it for him to have the fucking belt?
Absolutely. But right now he's trying to set that record. He's which he wants to be the longest champion ever.
Here's the thing about that. Okay, like Bruno had thousands of defenses. Hogan had hundreds. Anybody know how many title defenses in this quote 1,000 fucking days he's had?
Not many.
It's like 50 or 60.
Yeah, because he spends more time yapping his gums or taking a break.
Yeah.
Before this championship, or even before he became the tribal chief, Roman Reigns was wrestling each and every week.
Yeah.
So, it's just, it kind of doesn't really make any sense. And, let's not talk about who's going to take the belt off hypothetically. There's, I guess, 2 people right now who, they think of CM Punk, The Rock, and also Cody Rhodes. So I don't want to. I want to see the match between Rock and Reigns just for the fans to get over it. But I don't see him winning the title because this is just a short stay for him.
Yeah, it'd be the same problem. A champion that ain't there.
Exactly, and I don't want to see that happen. Joe, what about you?
You know what? They're very smart. They know that if they got it in their contracts, if they don't have to appear all the time. Let's face it, when you defend your belt too many times on television and pay-per-views and all that, it gets boring. Oh, look how many times we said Roman Reigns.
Whoa.
Joe, no. You dilute the belt if you don't. Let's put it like this: if you don't have the credible challengers, and you do have a small pool of credible challengers that are split, okay. Once they're beaten, okay, what's next? Oh, let's get this little guy. Let's put him into fight and see if he's got a chance. No. Hulk Hogan didn't have to defend his belt all the time, and yet there was popularity there. And when he did, he made personal appearances. He did skits. He did backstage interviews. He tag teamed with a couple of people. You still was invested in it. And again, it's because of the character, the promos, and all that got you drawn in. These guys have none of that, and you're basically, acknowledge me. Yeah, fuck you. You said he wrestled many times before being a champion. Yes, they were trying so hard to finally get this bum over that they realized they weren't getting him over. Now let's make him a bad guy. Let's give him the belt and give him sporadic title defenses. And you're pissed off now because you want to see that belt taken off him. The world title, the world tag team titles, The World Tag Team title, Intercontinental title should be the prime belts. The world title should be that one belt that it's, whoa, if the world champion's coming here today, great. I can't wait to see him. Again, you don't have the talent pull of the Attitude Era. You don't have the talent pull of the Glory Days. So you sit back and you wonder, okay, who's next? Roman has beaten a couple of the same people. Seth has beaten the same people. All right, well, what the fuck? Pull out Eugene. Maybe we'll see Eugene next. It's just because you got CM Punk there. CM Punk is not winning a belt. If he does, it'll be a transition. Rock, if he wins the belt, it's going to be a transition. Cody, if he even gets a match that he can actually look good in and try to win, that's far and few. Again, you don't have the talent and you don't have the management. Look, Terry just said it too. WWE has been piss poor with asset management of people whom they can be world champion, like AJ Styles. Or they can have him or Finn Balor. Another guy should be world champ.
Right now, he's undisputed tag team champion, so he's kind of trapped in that at the moment.
Okay. The only thing with this is you can't have the same people constantly winning the same belt. It becomes boring. It becomes that point where, again, that's my opinion. But Rick, if we don't get to see Roman Reigns come in and literally like defend the belt once and disappear and never come back, I'll be a happy camper. Should he lose the belt? Absolutely. So should it be to someone active? Yes, but not all the time.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, I have no problem with Roman Reigns aside from the fact that he doesn't wrestle well. His new gimmick, it's getting old, but it was working for a long time. He needs to try something different now. But I mean, Lance, I wonder if he's also taking a break from health issues.
Possibly, but this keeps popping into my head as we're talking about this. Joe, I guess the main problem I have with an absentee champion, I'm not talking about a guy that doesn't defend. I'm talking about that does not fucking show up. What's the point of a company champion? Because he is the WWE champion. Is it not to be the face of the company?
Great insight, Joe.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I have to put my headset down real quick.
Is the point of a company champion, as in the guy that holds the belt that has the company name on it, to be the face of the company?
Absolutely.
It's kind of hard for him to be the face when he doesn't fucking show up.
Again, reflect on Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair. They did other stuff to keep the attention on without always having to defend the title. That's
Roman doesn't.
Right.
Roman does have all his segments, the whole Bloodline session, and it kind of gets boring after a while.
Exactly. But that's where you need to look and say, okay, you know what? Listen, you dumb chump. Everybody's tired of your acknowledge me. Everybody's tired of your family. Everybody's tired of the shit. Either do something different, or creative come up with something different, or find a credible a person that can hold the belt. Heels have in professional wrestling, heels have been more credible as champions because they could get away with it longer. But when you have all of this interference, especially with him and his acknowledge me, that's the only best thing he can do because he can't cut a fucking promo. He makes Sika and Alpha look like fucking Shakespeare. Yeah. Let's face it, what you say, yeah, let's get the belt off of him. Who's there? Who can you give it to? Cody? Cody's a transition. Let's face it, folks. Cody Rhodes is a transitional champ. He'll win it, hold it for maybe 3 or 4 months, and lose it either to Brock Lesnar or to Roman Reigns again.
Well,
Seth
first off, he
Rollins-
has to actually win it. And
Exactly.
I love Cody Rhodes. Even when he was in AEW, I thought he was great. He came back to WWE. I understand why he did. But the whole finish the story kind of thing is kind of getting a little old. It's been 2 years.
Yeah, Cody, finish the fucking book.
Yeah, no kidding. Stephen King's finished books in less than 2 years.
I've finished more books than I can't. I'm dyslexic.
But Terry 3G said that Cody Rhodes should be the next champ, and I think he can be more than a transitional champion. Seth Rollins, he doesn't see Seth Rollins as world champ. I'm sorry, this is Terry talking. Drew McIntyre should be. That's another wrestler that I think that WWE's just kind of, overlooked. And, there's talk about him leaving. I don't know if he's leaving or not. Who knows? He might just be Dolph Ziggler mode where he's just happy getting the paycheck.
Yeah, Lord knows Dolph Ziggler ending up in TNA. That's a real step down from him, but it may be a step down for him in his career. Because who's going to turn it? Oh, Dolph Ziggler's over here. I'm going to flip the channel and see him taking on Fala Bala.
Oh, wait, that's right. You can't because you can't watch TNA on no fucking network TV.
Here's the thing, though. He's not only just in TNA, he's also in New Japan. So it kind of supplements his income. Well, hey, them New Japan contracts are pretty nice. From what
he's just doing community service over in TNA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, we're talking about indies. Mustafa Ali was not really the best wrestler in WWE. However, Fightful is claiming that Mustafa Ali's arrival in the independent scene has been quite beneficial for ticket sales. Several promoters have said that the most impact sales, other than XWE stars, he's been the biggest in years. Joe, we've talked in the past about XWE wrestlers who've gone to the indie scene and actually made more money. It looks like that's what happened with Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, you know what? And congratulations to him. Anytime a former WWE star gets out of their contract and they're a free agent, there will be indie mark promoters going out of there, putting their house, selling their kids, just so they can claim that we've got the former WWE wrestler in our midst. Don't do anything with it, but they'll do that. And the workers, they see opportunity. Of course, you should get a lot of money. You shouldn't be wrestling Joe Schmo for $200. If you can make a good, 10 grand a shot, something that probably you couldn't do in WWE in a month, absolutely do it. There's mark promoters out there. That's why when these guys jump ship, they're leaving the biggest pond with the biggest cameras. And when they go to these little indie promotions like TNA and NWA and all these other groups, of course they're going to demand high money. And they're going to be, and it's damn right. They deserve it. The companies are just going to try to latch off that publicity. And to the worker there, oh, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'll be out in a minute. Let me finish lacing my fucking boots. They know how to work it. So it's not being cynical. It's being flat out honest. What does Dolph Ziggler gain or Mustafa Ali gain by helping a company like pretty much to Impact or Ring of Honor or any of nothing, because he can't do anything for their careers. So take advantage of it. Mark promoters would love to spend money. We've heard stories where mark promoters will literally put their houses on the line, offer their wife for one night so they can just get a WWE star to appear on their fucking shitty ass promotion. That's horrible. But hey, you know what? It's great for the workers because they're making that money. And think about it. Ring, ring. Yeah, you want me to work in your piece of shit indie? Okay, hotel, travel, and give me at least $5,000 or $10,000. Okay, thanks. What? Oh, your wife too? Is she hot? Okay, yeah, I'll take that too. That's the mindset of a WWE worker or any famous wrestler who wants to get in there. And they know they can make it. They can ask for that money. Imagine Hulk Hogan or The Rock or Austin appearing at an indie. You know how much money you're going to have to just them going to a Comic Con or wrestling convention. How much money you have to put down just to get that worker there to sign autographs. We've talked about, what is it, Hulk Hogan, you having to have $500 to take a picture with him, or $1,000 and stuff like that. It's crazy.
Yeah. Actually, there was a story about like 5 or 10 years ago, that a friend of mine, Billy, and his indie promoter, they were down south, and they had the Rock and Roll Express sign. And now keep in mind, these guys were still 55, 60 years old. And this guy gave these guys $5,000 each. That's $10,000 for indie promotion. First night, they packed the house in. The other 2 nights, the barflies weren't even paying attention. So, but again, they made out. Unfortunately, the indie promoters didn't. Lance, your thoughts on all this?
Well, the thing with Mustafa Ali, WWE just did not use him right. Because I watched him in, well, granted, it was out of on YouTube, but on week in, week out on a company in, like I said, in Chicago called Freelance Wrestling, which I encourage anybody to go check out some of Mustafa Ali's matches there. His name was Prince Mustafa Ali. He was pretty much the head or top heel there. Amazing matches. So, honestly, give all the money you can, Mustafa.
Absolutely. And you know what? I think we're going to wrap things up from here. I want to thank everybody who joined us in the chat room today. Jake Slayer, Mark K, Terry 3G, of course, and others. We're here again every night at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We have a lot more in the YouTube channel. We have tribute videos. Obviously, we have archives, shoot videos, and much, much more. Also, check out our Facebook page, Wrestling Rants, where we cover all the latest news. I do the Babe of the Day and what we call the nicer side of the Babe. And a lot of other cool shit. Tonight, I will be covering AEW's Dynamite. So, please feel free to join us. And if you got a chance, take a time and hit that like button, and please subscribe to Hardcore Wrestling Rants. Joe, you're over at Sculdron Realms. What's going on?
Well, I'm going to be going back to doing my streams again. I just haven't had the time. It's been work has been keeping me extremely busy, but I'll be doing once again my old retro game reviews on Saturday, January 27th. Check us out on Twitch live at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It is the WWO, World Wrestling Organization, our virtual wrestling promotion. Everybody calls it an EFED, but we are virtual wrestling promotion where we have guys and girls who do promos, do skits, and you see the action played out in the WWE 2K23 format, but you get to see a lot of different things. So make sure you check out WWO Live, hashtag WWO Live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. But Saturday, January 27, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard. Make sure you jump on Twitch and look for us. We'll be live.
All right, Lance, you're over at Lance Moss TV. What do you got going on over there?
Right now, it's just Lance Moss TV and Friends coffee time. I didn't do one last night because it was just too fucking cold here. Because it was like negative last night. I would have just been here shivering. So it will be next week at 7:05 Central, 8:05 Eastern. And, well, wherever else, y'all do the math.
All right. So,
before you go off the air, I got to say something funny. The other night, I was making love to my wife. She says, I got to tell you something. 5 beautiful words. And I says, really? What is it, honey? She says, get off me. You're heavy.
Damn.
You know what? I actually believe she may have said that. All right, so for the hardcore crew,
Now we can end the show.
I'm your hardcore host, Rick Head, saying we'll see you when we see you.
Buy the shirt.
Buy the shirt. I ain't heavy.